Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. And today we have two amazing guests that are joining us, and they're going to share their wisdom, insight, and tips with us to really empower and support us on our journey. They're both #1 international best-selling authors, and they have so much wisdom and insight to help us personally and professionally really stand in our power and be successful and even figure out what that means for ourselves. So great conversation we're going to have today. And in February, we like to really focus on love, different aspects of it. How are we learning how to love ourselves, to love others, to really show up in a way that is in alignment with those things that are most important to us, to our heart, to what we're wanting to bring to the world, to how we're wanting to be in the world. So I invite you to listen in with your heart, your mind, body, soul, and spirit, all of you, to the wisdom and insight that's going to be shared with you today. And seek and to discover what is one step that you can take today, or more, for those of you who like to take multiple steps, but at least one step today, to really help you love yourself more, be kind to yourself, support yourself, and love others more. So how can we do those things as an expert, as an influencer, as a leader, as someone fully owning who we are called to be? How can we show up in a way that is more loving to ourselves and to others? So be listening for that, be reflecting on that. And I want to encourage you to be fully present, because there is a reason that you've connected in today. It's not by chance. It's not by accident. There is a reason and a purpose that you tuned in today at this moment in time. And I want to honor that. So to help us become present, to receive everything that is here for us today, I want to encourage you to take a deep breath in through your nose, all the way to your toes. Wiggle your toes, make sure air is getting in there. And breathe out through your mouth, like through a straw. Just slow down as you breathe. Enjoy that oxygen coming in. When we consciously, purposely, mindfully slow down and pay attention to our breath, it actually helps us become more present in just those 30 seconds a minute. It helps us lower our stress levels, our cortisol levels. As we breathe in and receive that beautiful oxygen supporting us, we can visualize all of that support, encouragement, being seen and heard and understood, all of that we are breathing in and receiving. As we breathe out, we're releasing all of that no longer serves, creating more room and space for support, for where we're wanting to grow, and to receive those things that serve. So breath can be so powerful. And what's also beautiful about it is we slow down and we breathe and become more present. We create that room and space. We can actually hear. We can hear what is being shared with us today. We can hear what's being said in between the words. We can hear what is being spoken and bubbling up within us. Sometimes we're so busy, we stop hearing, we stop listening. Today, I want to invite you to listen, to hear, to receive everything that is here for you. To help with that, I'm going to encourage you to take another deep breath, and as you do, close your eyes, but not if you're driving. Keep eyes open if you're driving. But if you're not driving, close your eyes. Take that deep breath, put both hands on your heart. Feel that heartbeat. And as you're slowing down and listening, I want to ask you, what is your heart sharing with you today? What is it you need that will encourage, empower, and support you one step, one heartbeat at a time? What do you need? What are you willing to receive? Because you have choice. Just see. Information can come in words, in a knowing, in a reminder, sometimes in a picture, or a scent or a sound. What is it that you need today, real time, and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Receive that information. Let's take a deep breath. Open up your eyes, become fully present. Beautiful. And take a moment and write down what has been laid on your heart that you need, that you are willing to receive. Let's keep it top of mind. It's so easy to get distracted by shiny objects, to forget. Let's keep it top of mind. Write it out. Start to co-create it as we connect in today and listen with our hearts and our spirits. Beautiful. With that, we're going to go around our virtual room and take just a moment to hear what was laid on our respective guests and experts' heart today as we took a moment to stop, pause, and listen and see if that speaks to you, how it speaks to you. Maybe it adds additional insight to what you are feeling and seeing and receiving. So with that, Seema, I would love for you to share what was laid on your heart.
Well, what was laid on my heart was to be open. Just sometimes we have some preconceived notions and preconceived ideas, and we're only looking for that. Excuse me. So what came to me was to be open and just be curious and see what comes.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. Being open. How about you, Amy? What was laid on your heart?
Thanks, Rebecca. I feel excited about what lies ahead. I thought about that today I need to listen to myself and be true to myself, and that I have all that I need to be happy and successful already within me.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. How important that is to know and to own. You're right. Sometimes, we look outside of ourselves versus really going inward and knowing that we have what we need. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart? As Seema shared about being open to discover and see what comes in, Amy's beautiful share about knowing that you have what you need to succeed, to move forward powerfully and purposely. What are you discovering as you slow down and listen? We're getting ready to go to our first commercial break, and as we do that, I want to invite you to stay present. As those commercials with updates and insights are being shared, I want to invite you to use that time, these 2 minutes, for you. Capture some of your thoughts. What is it that you're looking for? What do you need? What are you hoping to discover about standing in your power, owning it, claiming it, moving forward in a more loving way for yourself and others, leading that? What do you need? And what is bubbling up? And we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to just be present, to breathe and to be, and that is enough. It shifts our energy so quickly when we just consciously, purposely take a moment to pause and listen. We are continuing our conversation as we look at how can we more powerfully and purposely step more fully into who we are called to be, and do that in a loving and supportive way of ourselves and others. So I'm very excited to introduce our first guest. You got to hear a little bit from her in the opening segment. Amy Chambers is a #1 international best-selling author. She has an MBA and has run over 200 half marathons and over, I believe, 11 full marathons. Is that correct, Amy?
Yeah, thank you.
That's so beautiful. I love that. She also has over 20 years experience in the financial industry and has spent 15 of them in all different areas of leadership. She's held numerous roles, from district manager roles and regional director roles, and she became a COO at age 36. She has become a coach, a consultant, speaker, and author in 2021 to now share her insights and wisdom with the world. She has led hundreds of people to success. She is passionate about helping you achieve your success, especially in leadership. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic leader, Amy Chambers, to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's great to be here.
You are so welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us. And I wanted to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping people achieve their success, why is that personally so important to you?
Yeah, thank you. I remember when I first started out in leadership, I had some good leaders and some not so good leaders, and I really noticed a difference in how people's lives could shape and have trajectory when they were supported and valued and appreciated. And it just became such important, meaningful work for me to make sure that other people began to figure out, if they're in leadership, how do they do that for others? And if they're not in leadership, how do they do that for themselves? Or how do they expect or hope or demand that that's done for them? Because it's just so important. We're all very unique people, very individualized, and all of us have gifts and natural talents to share, but it just doesn't happen when we don't love ourselves or have leaders that love us, or again, if we're in leadership, that we really show that love and valuing to others. And so because I noticed just such differences in people's abilities and the shape of their lives when they had it versus they don't, I decided to make a career and a job and really a life out of making sure that others know how important that is. So that's how I got started.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I'm curious as I heard you share, because this could be a new concept for a lot of our listeners. I think sometimes we have a view of leaders and a view of leadership. And sometimes we feel like we're leaders, sometimes we don't, and identify with that. But I think it can be a very unique concept or thought about how leadership and love tie together. And you mentioned that was something you really noticed in how leaders showed up and how impactful that was. Do you mind talking a little bit about how leadership and love connect and if that's important and why, if it is, it's important?
Yeah, absolutely. And so in my book that just came out on February 1st, I talk about this a lot. And the book, The 7 Virtues, is really based on this principle of love. And I think sometimes that's confusing for us. We don't really necessarily think, okay, leaders should love us, but I've seen love work very well in leadership. And as I think about, the book, it's my belief that basically everything we do for people, if we're in leadership, is driven by a great respect and valuing and appreciation for them. And so just as a couple of examples, the book talks a lot about how when we are in leadership, we should involve other people in things and ask for their opinion and have dialogues with them. And we do that because we think that they're smart and their contributions are worthwhile. When we coach them on a routine basis, not just when things go wrong, but because we want to grow and develop them into something greater and fulfill their potential, that's a way of us loving them. When we recognize them when things are going great and for the work that they've put in and the effort that they've exuded, that's because we feel appreciation for them. And again, we love them. When we're humble with them, when we talk to them about our own vulnerabilities and mistakes, so they know it's a safe and secure environment to make their own mistakes, again, it's a way of us loving them. And so this is how I really think people should lead, because what I've seen is when people do lead that way, lots of wonderful development and activity and great results happen. And so that is my belief of leadership. It's a showing of love for others.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I love how you're adding in some of this additional language, different aspects of love, of appreciation, of respect, of seeing, of valuing. Like all of those are aspects of showing people that you love and care about them, valuing their input, their participation in things. I think that is something that we all lean into and appreciate. So remembering that those are all different aspects of leadership and love, that those tie in together and can bring really, really great results for all involved. And you mentioned your book. So I would love for you to share a little bit about your book. If you could share the full title again and a little bit of what this book is about and what you're hoping it does in the world. I know it was powerfully received, #1 international bestseller. I'd love for you to share a little bit about it.
Yeah, thank you. So the book is titled The 7 Virtues of Effective Leaders. Virtues is an acronym. The virtues really are principles, practices, behaviors that people can do every day, but they do actually also stand for something. And so very quickly, the V is for vision, the I is for involve, the R is for routines, the T is for talk, the U is for understand, the E is for encourage, and the S is for showcase. And what I've noticed is when leaders do these 7 things together, and there's lots of examples and stories about what it means to do these 7 things, when everyone does these things together, packaged as a set, again, great results happen. People are engaged. They're fiercely loyal. They love their jobs. They enjoy coming to work. It's really what everyone hopes for, is that your employees want to be there. They're there with you. They're supporting you. And after 20 years of observing leadership and many years being in leadership, I put together this framework. It's really my model of what I think leadership is, and I've seen it work time and time and time again. So it was really great to put it together in a book.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations again on bringing your book forward and having it received so powerfully. That's a big deal. #1 international bestseller. So congratulations. And to me, that's also a testament of how important this information is and how hungry people are to really bring leadership forward in a powerful way. Now, one of the things you mentioned in your last comment was about how people should want to love going to work and being at work. And I don't know that I always hear that out there. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about your belief around that and how can we help support people love coming to work as well as ourselves love going to work.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's a question that we should be asking more is how do I get, all my employees to want to be here? There's a lot of things that go into this. At the most foundational, basic level, if we're in leadership, just caring about our employees, asking them simple questions as simple as, how are you? How are you doing? Are there any challenges or struggles you're having? Can I help you with anything? And really creating an environment where that person would answer honestly. And so they would feel comfortable to say if they're struggling with something or if they've made a mistake or if they feel like they're failing. They would be able to speak up and say, you know what, that project or that assignment that you gave me last week or that I've been working on this month, I just don't feel like I'm doing what I should with it, or I just don't think I'm getting to the right conclusions. Can we talk about that? That would be, I think, again, at a most basic level, how we can show love to our employees. Another way is to care about their personal lives. It's not that employees have to tell their leaders everything they do on the weekend, but having a boss that wants you to be able to get out on time and go to your kid's dance recital or take a vacation or when you're away from work, really be away. I see so many bosses kind of try to intrude or monopolize people's personal time in the nights, on the weekends. They're texting or emailing or reaching out. And really my belief is that people need balance and they want to have time for rejuvenation and rest. So when we love our employees, we trust that if we give them time away to be themselves fully in their personal lives, when they come back to work on Monday morning or whatever their next scheduled time to work is, they're going to be more involved and more engaged because they've had that break and that flexibility. So there's a lot of things we can do to show love to our employees. Those are just a couple very basic, simple things that I think sometimes bosses make mistakes in. They feel like, it's a professional environment. We should only talk about work. We should be very focused on the results. And really, when you start with just treating people like humans, you can get a lot more done. So those are just a couple of examples.
Perfect. No, thank you. I think that's great. And supporting those boundaries and helping the employees have that work-life balance, I think is great, a great takeaway from that. And then I do have another question. I know we're getting close on time, but I really want this information. And I know you're really, really good at this. So why is it and how is it important for us to take care of ourselves as leaders? I think sometimes we can lean into that sacrificing, pouring everything to the point of depletion. And you've been able to balance these things really well as you lead others and have run your marathons and all these different things you've been able to do and help others do. So do you mind just commenting on that a little bit? Why is that important? And how can we start taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves too?
Yeah, it is very important. And I think sometimes we forget about our long-term health and really what is passionate or important to us because we get wrapped up in short-term goals. And I think probably one of the biggest reasons, there's lots of data and science out there that says if you don't take care of yourself, you'll end up being very unhappy. Your relationships will suffer. Your health will suffer. Your ability to care for your family will suffer. In the end, we just don't end up fulfilling our full potential. And so it's so important for us to take time away from the day-to-day tasks and I think strategize or just reflect, plan for the future, think about really who am I? What do I like to do best? What do I want to be in my life? What do I want to be known for? And having that ability to do that, also set boundaries and say no sometimes. No, I can't take on that extra project or be at that baby shower or networking event, whatever it is. Because I have something else that's more important to me. When we don't do these things, we become very unhappy, and then we're not able, as unhappy people, to be successful and to let our light shine. And so it really is at utmost importance and just very critical that we take time to do that.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I think those are some great questions to ask in perfect timing. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about some of these questions and thoughts that Amy has shared with us, that we can take a moment, take these next 2 minutes, and just reflect on that. How are you taking care of yourself? How are you building in those things that matter most to you into your rhythm, into your life? Are you making sure that you're filled up so that you can powerfully walk in your leadership and support others? So great things to kind of think about, reflect back on Amy's words, enjoy these 2 minutes, and we will continue our conversation in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes. You wrote down some great thoughts of how are you taking care of yourself? What are you building into your life that matters to you? Those are great things to be looking at as you're defining success and what it means to you. How are you building that love into your life for yourself and others? Now, I want you to take a moment and look back at your notes from the beginning of our conversation, what was laid on your heart and your spirit. Those are great things to be keeping in mind as we continue our conversation, because just a reminder, I know you're here on purpose. I know that this time is for you. So I want to invite you to really be present and be part of the conversation and really let everything that can support you be open to having that come in. And that's something our next guest, I should say, Seema, talked about in the opening segment, was about being open, really let things come in that can serve and support you. Be open to being surprised, like you never saw that coming. You never saw that perspective. What a wonderful thing to be open to learning and discovering. So let me take a moment and introduce our next amazing guest, Seema Giri. She has an amazing personal story that she actually struggled with chronic pain so extreme that she was bedridden for many years, and then was able to heal, move forward, and now is able to run a successful business as an entrepreneur and lead and help and empower others. She is a go-to expert for those who are wanting to own their stories and make a big impact. She's a 4 times #1 international best-selling author. She has, over the past 20 years, helped nearly 100,000 leaders expand their consciousness and become unstoppable in business and life. She is passionate about helping you step into your true power. Please lean in and warmly welcome the dynamic and powerful Seema Giri to the show. Welcome.
Hi, Rebecca. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm thrilled to have you joining us, and I would love to have you share a little bit about why this work of helping people stand in their power, particularly in claiming their story, why is that work so personally important to you?
Oh, well, great question. Well, Rebecca, as you shared in my introduction, I have been there. I've had chronic pain. I've had a place where, went really dark, and I thought I would be bedridden for the rest of my life. I had where doctors were not paying attention to me and listening to me. So, and growing up at a time, we all have grown up at a time where you were supposed to be seen and not heard, and then to be an immigrant, and then on top of that, being in an Indian family, that was really drilled down into me, should be seen and not heard. So for the longest time, I didn't believe I had a story and that it mattered. So going through that journey, I've realized how that is like the critical point that we're talking about love, how self-love is such a basis of foundation for leading an amazing life, leading your life in purpose and by design. So, and the majority of the women, even if they're successful, I've found, feel that way. So I find it to be my mission to help everyone in our generation and the next generation say how powerful they are in their own right and that their story is so important. So, and I'm doing this through the series of books that I have because it's a great way for others to showcase their story, and we can really understand the depth of what one has gone through and the showcase of what can happen and what the possibilities are.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Seema. I appreciate that, and I honor the journey you've gone on and your willingness to lean in and help others and really empower them on their journey. And I think it's so powerful when we have been there, we have been in that place where we haven't been heard, where we haven't felt honored or even encouraged, and yet have come through that. And now you reach out and help so many people step into their power. I have seen you encourage and hold space for them in such powerful and transformational ways. So I'm a fan and appreciate the work that you do and are bringing to the world. And absolutely. And one of the ways that I know that you do this and help people claim their story and bring it forward in powerful ways is that you have anthologies that you lead and help people share their messages and stories in them. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about, one, what an anthology is for those that's new to, and secondly, how that works and what you see happen for those who lean into participating in that type of a project.
Yes, my favorite thing to talk about. So an anthology, some people also call it a compilation book. Some people call it a multi-author book. So that's what it is. It is a multi-author book where everyone writes from their own perspective of a theme that the compiler, such as me, has come up with, and the title of the book, and they do the cover of the book, and they gather a group of like-minded people, and everyone shares from their perspective, from some aspect of their life, and it's a great way to get started in the book writing world without having to worry about writing a full book. Because typically in an anthology, you write one chapter anywhere between 1,500 to 2,500 words. And Rebecca, the best part I like as a author and a writer is that the compiler takes care of all the end-to-end production of the book. I just have to write my story and submit it, get feedback, and make the changes, and the compiler takes care of everything.
I love it. And I love how it's a group of people coming together. So it's almost like this little community that gets to help bring powerful transformational messages to the world and support each other. And I love that detail that they don't have to worry about all the details. They don't have to worry about all the publication stuff, and they can just really focus on their message in the book and trust the process. So I love that. And do you find... go ahead.
I was going to say it's a perfect way to expand your network because of the co-authors that you have. You get to automatically expand your network into networks you've not been in before. And you get to build that know-like-trust factor with a whole new set of people.
I love that. And you don't have to do it on your own. And you get to share each other's networks together. So what a powerful way and a collaborative way to build your reach and your influence. So do you have a favorite story or an example of maybe a journey an author's gone on with you?
Oh, yes. So my one favorite one was, there's so many, but I'll pick one where I had one co-author. She said, when I was talking to her about the project, the first project, my Break Free series, Break Free to Stand in Your Power, and she said, this is an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing project that you're doing, but I have no idea why you were talking to me because I don't have a story. And Rebecca, this was the first time someone had said this to me, so I just looked at her with my mouth hanging open, like, what are you talking about? You have such an amazing story. So it just really opened up my eyes to, where people really don't see that they have a story. So I was able to take her from believing she doesn't have a story to having her become a #1 international best-selling author. And that totally changed her perspective of herself. She had so much more confidence. And, of course, she was able to grow her business even more.
I love it. I love it. Well, I know you have your most recent anthology is coming out very, very soon. I believe March 21st. Is that correct?
Yes, and I'm so excited about this one, Rebecca. It's like having many children. Every child is so special. So this one is called Power of You, Courage to Thrive in Uncertain Times. And I have this amazing 16 co-authors that are sharing their journey of primarily the pandemic, where we all had the global shutdown and how they went through it, keeping their sanity and their mind intact and being able to acknowledge what they're going through, but come out thriving with themselves, their community, their family, and friends. So it's, look out for the book. It's March 21st, and it's going to be an amazing, amazing story.
I love it. I love it. And what a gift to share during challenging times that what people have discovered, what they have learned, and what helped them get through and come out stronger on the other side. What a gift to everyone to learn that. And I love from 16 different authors' perspectives. What a gift and powerfully packed book that can support us in such amazing ways. So that's exciting. So I hope everyone wrote March 21st on your calendar, just around the corner. And when the book is first released, it's going to be offered for a special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 hours. So make sure to mark that on your calendar. We're going to be posting and sharing it out. We'd love your support in sharing it out as well to reach as many hearts and lives as possible. And I want you to be able to take advantage of that special rate. So put that on your calendar, March 21st, and watching for Seema's powerful anthology. Can you give us the title one more time?
Yes, it's called Power of You, Courage to Thrive in Uncertain Times. And Rebecca, I wanted to add that after the book launch on March 23rd, you can actually interact and hear from each of the co-authors and other speakers on the summit, on Power of You Summit on March 23rd.
So now we have that week planned. So March 21st, we have the book coming out, and then we can read some of the chapters and get ready for March 23rd to enjoy the International Global Summit that you'll be leading, where people can interact with the authors/speakers in that. That's beautiful. I love it. Well, I'd also love if you could share a tip on how we can start to more powerfully love ourselves and step into our power.
Yes. Well, the first thing is, to be open and, have that awareness of where do you find you are, not encouraging yourself enough. For me, it was, taking the small steps of making sure that I was eating healthier, that I was listening to my body, I think out of all, Rebecca, it's listening to your intuition and following it, even if it doesn't make sense, even if people around you are saying that, oh, that's crazy. Had I not done that, I would still be bedridden.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. To really listen to our intuition and trust it and follow it, and not to let that be overwritten by others or their voices louder, but really listening and honoring and following your path. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing. I really appreciate it. Listeners, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, I want you to think about what Seema shared. What is your intuition, your gut instinct? What is it saying to you as we enjoy these next 2 minutes? And when we come back, we're going to have our powerful experts share their contact information so you can go deeper, as well as a powerful tip. So take these 2 minutes, really think about what is your intuition telling you. And don't be open, as Seema has shared. Don't judge it. Don't try to overthink it. Don't let it be overridden. Just ask, intuition, what are you sharing with me? And listen. We'll continue our conversation in 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a great conversation with your intuition. I'm curious about what it shared with you. And I want to invite you to put down a step or two that you can take to put that information, that insight, that message into action. See how you can start to apply that wisdom that direction, that aha, into how you are being and what you're choosing to do. Now, I promised we would share contact information, so we're going to go around the room in just a moment and do that. I also wanted to share an opportunity. So just like we like to share about upcoming books that are coming out and great resources to support you on your journey, I wanted to let you know about the Speaker Talent Search. You can learn more at speakertalentsearch.com. It's part of our giving back and helping experts and leaders and speakers get on more stages, perhaps even be a guest on a show like ours. That's how we select our guests to be featured and share. So I encourage you to check it out, speakertalentsearch.com. There is a deadline coming up of February 28th, so it's coming up really fast if you want to participate in this upcoming search. We do have them a few times a year, but I'd love for you to lean in and take a look. That'll also put you on our list so we're able to stay in touch and keep you up to date on the latest and greatest things that we are involved in and honored to bring forward. With that, I would love to have Amy share her contact information with you. And if you could also share the title of your book and where people can also lean in and get a copy so people have all the best ways to connect.
Thank you, Rebecca. My website is amychambers.com. And on that website, I have a free assessment if anyone wants to evaluate where they or their company stands in terms of leadership, culture, and talent. And I'm also on YouTube under Coach Amy Chambers. Every week I upload a transformational video. The book's name, again, is 7 Virtues of Exceptional Leaders, and it's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble in all formats.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate it. And it is a great book. I also found it very powerful and inspirational and expanded my perspective a bit on leadership. So I do encourage everyone to check that out and follow Amy. And then Seema, I'd love for you to share your contact information and the best way they can lean in and get involved with you, as well as check out, you have multiple books. So the best place they can find multiple books from you, that would be great.
Yes, sure. So I have a URL, very simple. It's Seema, SEEMA.VIP, and all of my contact information, website, social media links, my podcast information is all on there. So it's very easy to get to, including my free gift, 3 ways to write your book and 6 reasons to build authority with anthology, among some other great info there.
Beautiful. And that's Seema. Can you repeat it one more time? I want to make sure we got that.
Yeah. It is Seema. It's www.seema.vip, because everyone is very important. And and all my previous books can be bought at Amazon.
Perfect. And they can just look it up by your name and find them?
By my name, yeah. Yes. Yes. I have 4 previous books. Power of You is going to be on Amazon in March, on March 21st. So they'll all be on Amazon.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. And listeners, we purposely have them share their contact information, not just for drill, but because we want you to connect. We want you to have that support and be able to lean into those experts and leaders that are leaning into you, and to really take advantage of the resources and support they have, the books, the materials, the assessments that's really shared mindfully and purposely to support you on your journey. With that, we're going to do a quick power moment where we have each of our experts share very quickly a final tip to encourage and support you on your journey. So with that, Amy, what's your tip?
My tip would be that success, happiness in life comes from always focusing on the things you can control and spending very, very little time focusing on the things that you can't.
Oh, great tip. My mind instantly started making a list. Can control, can't control. Suddenly organized things. That's brilliant. Thank you, AB.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Yes, a lot of us as humans spend a lot of time worrying about things we can't control: traffic, the weather, the past, other people. It never works out. So, you'll find that to be very helpful.
I love that. Very, very empowering. Beautiful. Thank you. Seema, how about you? What's your power tip or reminder for us today?
Well, Amy just gave a great tip. So I guess, Rebecca, in uncertain times, we are really looking at whether our glass is half full or half empty. I just want to say that, the glass is refillable, so it doesn't matter what the content is. You can reframe things, refresh things, or, just get a whole another glass.
Oh, I love that. It's refillable and you can have multiple glasses. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love that. Well, listeners, I want to thank you all for joining us today. I hope you have some great tips and insights that can support you on your journey, that you take a moment at the end of today's show before you transition back into the day and the busyness and all the different things that pull at us. Take 2 minutes for you. You got to do that throughout today's show. I invite you to do that at the end of the show as well. Take 2 minutes for you. Take a breath. Breathe in what serves. Integrate it on a cellular level. Look at your notes and what are 1 or 2 things that you can be in motion on, in action on as a result of today. Sometimes when we take a moment and breathe in deeply and integrate, you can't unknow what you now know. And that starts a shift and a powerful change in you. So I invite you, take those 2 minutes for you. Choose a couple of steps and actions that you can take, not someday, maybe I'll get to it list, but today. Really, a small step, baby steps count. You still get there a step at a time. Take those steps for you. How can you be more in alignment with who you're called to be more loving and supportive to yourself, and then as a result to others around you? Because you are a gift. You are absolutely needed in the world for such a time as this. Nobody else is just like you. Be willing to share the gift of who you are. That's the biggest difference you can make in the world, is being willing to share more of who you truly are with the world. 1 heart, 1 step, 1 conversation at a time. So be willing to be more of who you are, to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.